Happy evening, everybody. Now finally I got online. Okay, so I hope you're coping pretty well with that lockdown, at least in India, and I think it will also continue for another 2 weeks as it looked like. It's great to have you here today in this evening, and today we will talk about three things. One is about structure. So structuring yourself is a very important point because a lot of entrepreneurs, they have a lot of chaos, they have topsy-turvy schedules, they are not structuring their days at all, they just happen by default, and they have issues with prioritizing, and they're doing firefighting, right, almost all day long. Usually they also don't find an end to work, so it goes on and on and on, sometimes late at night. Family life is disturbed, friend circle is annoyed, etc. Now we will also talk about, secondly, to create space, the physical space as well as the mental space. Now a lot of entrepreneurs, they are doing the wrong work, I would say, and they don't know how to delegate. Their cluttered mind is also not really helping. Actually, the opposite is the case. They have not time for anything because they're constantly busy with something, and usually they're leading a very unhealthy lifestyle and they have no health maintenance whatsoever, nothing which they actually do to maintain their health. Now there is another thing, and this is about making needed changes. So most people, they live really a dull lifestyle, and thus they're constantly lacking in time, so they don't have any time for something. And most people, they're also not happy with that, but they're also not changing really much. So in case we didn't meet yet, my name is Jasmine Waldman. I'm an author, I'm a health and wellness coach. I live in India since almost 8 years now, and along with my team, we help entrepreneurs, we help companies to actually deal with change, to make it really compelling, to make it easy to change and to reach excellence, inner calmness, and great success. Now let me dive directly into this about structuring yourself. Okay, so what to do about this? Well, it is very important when you find you're identifying with yourself, hear what I just said, and you see, that is actually me in some point or the other, then it's time to take some action. Okay, so just give me also that wow button if you hear me loud and clear. Okay, great. Now we also have now the structuring of ourselves. So how to go about this? Now, how to go about this is to make an inventory. First of all, we have to understand what we are doing and what do we have. That means just check out for 3-4 days what you do. Pen down your daily activities, as simple as that. And you have to be diligent in that. Now, also, when you see that is clearly written in black and white, right? So this is undeniable, then your facts and figures. And thank you, Arjuna. You can click this buttons, not writing, but thank you. Good, you can hear me. Okay. Also, Arjuna, by the way, she is a team member of mine, and she will help us with some links, etc., whatever we need. Hi, Denzel. Okay, now if you have made an inventory, I want you to check out in this routine you also have created by default or by purpose. Check out what is working already great. I really mean what is already working great. Now the second point is then check out what doesn't work and really need some changes. So this is then the next point. Then go about this. Number 3 is take action. And it actually is also really important to take time out for each of that steps. Don't try to do too many things at the same time because you will fail. Now, I give you an example about myself as an entrepreneur. what I penned down was already great. I did my morning routine. So I'm, meditating in the morning no matter what since many, many years. So that was a thumb up. Now, what needed to improve was a fixed time for my breaks during lunch, because that was completely topsy-turvy. And also I put, as a point that I didn't have any end time to work. So sometimes I worked also until very late. And this impacted also my relationships, my friends, circle, etc. All that stuff which I just mentioned, right? So we went all through these things. So, and then I penned this down, I identify, and then I said, okay, I choose as a first point to start changing as, I need to have some working closing time. So, and I did that religiously, no matter what work was pending. I tried to finish everything until 8:30 and maximum was 9. So basically it was 9, but I just put in my mind already 8:30 p.m. And so at 9 o'clock, everything was wrapped up. I prepared already my day ahead. So I penned it down, that priorities, etc. I will talk about this in a while. And then I was done for the day of work. And I did this for 2 weeks and it became really naturally. So it was actually terrific. I felt really good about that. And then I went to the second step and I implemented this. And then I went to the third step. I implemented that. So until I found, okay, now it's actually quite decent. So it's all right. So what are the benefits to structure yourself, to have that kind of regime? Well, it is actually discipline gives you freedom. And as you can see, how when you're structuring your day, it gives you a lot of freedom, because then you don't have to reinvent the day again and again and again. So you save a lot of energy, a lot of time, and also eventually a lot of money. Now, you also have a lot of energy because you're saving so much of energy, and it's boosting your energy. It's also boosting your productivity, by the way. You are more focused, you are happier in general, more balanced. And it gives you also stability and security. Now, it reduces stress, as you can imagine, because you don't have to stretch your mind at all anymore, what you have to do at, what given time, etc. And it improves also a patience level with yourself and with others, and it boosts your mental health. Well, there are also a couple of other points which are really great and beneficial, but that much to this. I hope you can follow me. So can you relate to that, what I just said? Just give me a thumbs up. Hi, Pramod. Very good. Thank you. Okay. So another point is how to create your space. Well, I have on YouTube 2 videos about decluttering your life. And I really recommend you to look into that and have a good view on that, because what happens is we live usually in clutter. We create clutter and then we live in clutter. Now, that is first the material clutter meant. We have so many things. When you check out your working desk, there are so much of things which are actually not needed. Still, it's there. You see your wardrobe. How many clothes are hanging there which you actually hardly used, or maybe you wear them last time maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago, or you just bought them and never wear them, and stuff like that. So our house, our life is somehow cluttered with a lot of material stuff. Now, if this is cluttered with material stuff, it reaches our brain as well. And our brain has the tendency also to declutter when we declutter our environment. For example, we feel so good when we are decluttering, sorting out our wardrobe or our bathroom or our car or our working desk or office, etc., right? You have a good feeling about that. Did you ever experience that? Can you relate to that? Thanks, Archana. You shared also the links. Guys, the links for that YouTube videos on YouTube are there, on my channel on YouTube, I mean. So Archana shared this. Just go and check it out. Now, reason why is when we declutter our environment, we declutter our brain. But that's not just the whole thing, right? It's not done like that. We have to declutter our mind in a more intense way. When you check out what kind of information you let in that brain, that terrific brain, and creates your mind with your thoughts. Where do you limit that information? Where did you check it out if it should come in or stay out? I'm talking about information diet. I call that information diet or information detox. Now, usually a diet means, from my understanding, so it's usually understandable, I check out very specific and carefully what kind of information I want. So for example, I don't read newspapers, but I know at least 2 people which I will ask whenever I want to have an update about economics, for example. So I have 2 people to go, and this counts for, the rest of the newspaper, whatever is really interesting for me. And it is also about how many information do you get which are completely unnecessary from your friends, from colleagues, other entrepreneurs, your network circle, or some groups we are in, or our neighbors, family members, etc. We get a lot of information, and not to mention WhatsApp. A lot of garbage is going and circling around and circling around and circling around without any ending. So now it's up to you to get on this information diet, because the more information you get, which are completely unnecessary, the more clutter you have here. So this is one big thing, information diet. And that is specifically on social medias and also your cell phone. And it helps you to thinking more clear, and it's also, instead of, just reacting on something, is about responding. Very, very important point. So what to do? Watch that video clips I just shared with you. Meditate and learn more about yourself. When you're meditating, you will also learn how you're thinking, what kind of thoughts you have, because the thoughts are a creation of your brain, and it becomes your mind. Now, it happens when it's not managed well and not well controlled. It just happens by default. Your brain is thinking whatever it wants. It takes you to a ride, like monkey mind, if you heard that terminology. I think very often, right? We heard about this. Okay. It is important that you are managing your thoughts, that you're controlling and guiding your thoughts, because thoughts will manifest into reality. We all know that. And better you create a great reality. And for a great reality, you need great thoughts. I mean, that's logical, actually. Now, what are the benefits? What do you think are the benefits of an uncluttered mind and a great mental space? Just let me see your comments. Hi, Rajiv. Hi, Julie. So, according to you, what are the benefits if you are in that mental space which is needed? Well, let me help you here. It reduces anxiety. It helps you also become more productive. It energizes you. That's one of the topics which I love. It boosts your mental health. Hi, Saloni. And it saves a lot of money, because you're not running around like a chicken without head. That's a German saying. That means whatever you do this by purpose, and because there's a specific focus and a lot of thoughts before. Now, it brings also great opportunities which you would have missed if you just cluttering your mind constantly, because then you can't select what is really a great opportunity and what is not, because it's like, already putting here, or some mashed potatoes. I give an example about a client of mine. So it's a one-on-one client, a private session client, and let's call her Monica. This is always about names, etc., confidentiality. So that's why I just give different names if I bring them up as examples. Now, Monica was an entrepreneur, still is, and she had a lot of stuff on her plate. So she was, first of all, single. She was 39, no kids, and she lived with her mom. She was depressed, by the way, the mother, and the father died a couple of years ago. And she was the only bread and butter earner, and she was really busy in that clutter she created also in her work. Now she also had no time for herself. There was no me time at all. She was just constantly running. And we sat down and we just made that inventory I did with you, also another exercise which just comes up in 2-3 minutes. And she realized a couple of things, and I bring up the 10 R's of change as well. I will introduce this to you in also 2-3 minutes. Now, what we did was systematically to identify what is going on in order to change, and also to see what points needed to change. Now, after that kind of transformation, that, I call this period of chaos because this is the routine you had earlier. That is the routine you are going into. But here in between, it's uncertainty and it's chaotic because there's no order. But she went through that and her mind became amazing. She was so sharp. She was so focused and concentrated, and she halved 50% of her time at work or with work. That was really amazing. And she was far more successful. I can't share this with numbers, but it was impressive. Okay, so this was about Monica's, story. Case story or case study. Now, when it comes to change, I want to ask you, what was the last time you made changes about? What was the last time you made a change? And what was that change in your life? And I'm not talking about a big change. I'm talking about even small changes. Let me know. Just put this in your comment box. Okay. While you're typing, you can also check with me now the 10 R's. What are the 10 R's? Well, maybe you have read the book Change Me. That's the book which I have written. And in this Change Me, there are 10 R's. You can see in the content, 10 R's. And this is the transformation phase. What are the 10 R's? So I just put this into different categories. One is the awareness and to get to know. Now we have already crossed that. So we recognized, like this one here. Let me put that as an example, that seminar we are just having right now. You recognize there's something going on. You realize, hey, this is important for me. That could be very interesting. And reveal what is going on with you. So that, one exercise I already did with you, or you will carry on after that seminar when you have more time. Now, then we're going through change, which is chaos. And this is about repair and rebuild. Now, let me go into this one. What is amazing about change? The chaos phase. So there could be some beauty of change. So a couple of people like me, great adventurers, we love actually chaos. Up to a certain level, of course. And there's no order, there's just new things, there's excitement. And, can you give me some synonyms for chaos? Any synonyms will do. I give you 3-4 seconds. What is a synonym for chaos? Okay, I will start. Confusion. Complete disorder, or disorder as such. Anybody has a word? Turmoil. Clutter. Eventually. Lawlessness. And it goes on and on and on. So we have a couple of things here in this chaotic phase. But after this chaos, new habits, new routines are kicking in. And that is the phase of implementation. So I call this replenish and recover. Yes, thank you, Pramod. So, and this is the phase after the implementation, because this is still pretty new and you go on and on. As I said on the beginning, I did one change for 2 weeks and I became then comfortable. So this 2 weeks is actually the implementation phase, and it's not really strong enough, but it's also not in that complete chaos anymore. And then afterwards, we have a new way established. I call that the new way established, or the new you. Actually, you came from this level, that standard or that routine, and then you reached an even higher level. So that is then the new standards you created for yourself. And this is about rekindle, refresh, resurrect. And these are also the 10 R's. Let me just, introduce them to you. Now, change is the only constant, right? How often did you hear that? Approx 100, 200 times? I'm pretty sure. Now, who said it and when? Who said it and when? I give you a hint. It was in Greece. Somebody from Greece said it in Greece. And it was 540 BC, before Christ. So it's an older chap. Heraclitus said that. Well, it's really long time ago. A lot of people are citing him, but who know who said it, right? Okay, we have different types of change. Thank you, Arjuna. So 2 different types of change. One is which has happened. That's completely, out of your hand, out of your control. And this is unpredictable in nature. And this is because external factors. And then we have another one, which is completely in our hands. This is because we do this intentionally. Now we distinguish here because of the planned, incremental, anticipatory. And for example, I give you that as a lockdown. Now the lockdown happened as you are not moody, I assume. It was unpredictable in nature. It was not in your hands, right? And then incrementally you adjusted, right? And now, as a matter of fact, we can't live a life continuously like that. There will be again a change coming up, and this will be anticipatory. So, and this is anticipatory, right? So it comes to an end. Now, how it will change afterwards, what will change? We don't know this. Hi, Alex. Okay, so now tell me one thing. What can you change? What can you change? There's only one word needed. Only yourself. I can change only myself. We all know that. Do we always follow our knowledge? Hell no. We always think, oh, we can maybe change that person. That change, should actually happen with that person. Something is not really right with him or her, etc. But actually, we can change only ourselves. And that includes our way of thinking, our direction of thoughts, etc. So how to go about this? Well, step by step. As I also say in Change Me, it's all about baby steps. Also, the magazine Psychology Today says 1 step at a time, baby steps. And this is really important because a lot of people think, oh, now I make a change and it will be just fantastic. And how is reality? You go 3 steps forward and then you go 1 step back. And then you get 2 steps forward and then you go 1 step back. It's pushing you back, right? For some reason or the other. But gradually, continuously, you're moving forward and you conquer. But it takes time and it takes effort and it takes focus and belief. And a lot of people are lacking in these things because they just make this as a wishful thinking and change should happen and almost without any action. So, and as I said about making these changes, now here also in that phases comes the why you wanted to make change on the beginning of that. And usually we all know when we start to break down, just give you the sentence, ask yourself the same question, why you started, and then it will, motivate you. But I think you should constantly have this in your mind. There's a picture of a donkey and there's a carrot right in front tackling constantly. And the donkey likes the carrot. He's constantly running and just trying to get that carrot. And this is a good metaphor how change can actually happen. It can happen in a very interesting and very compelling way. So there are 2 types when we are changing, when we are thinking about change. One is to get away from something, usually something painful, or to go towards something interesting, something compelling, something seductive, or, something which is concretely great. So when you made some changes the last time in your life, or you needed to, in which category did you think? Was it more away from something or was it towards something? I can tell you I have a couple of entrepreneurs coming to me for sessions and they say, hey, Yasmin, I want to give up smoking. So somehow I tried since 2-3 years and I just can't give up. And then I asked a couple of more things, and I realized it is obvious why they can't give up smoking, because they are thinking in a category of giving up something, losing something. And we don't like to lose. Our brain hates to lose. We want to win. So, and when we are just shifting our mindset, we are looking into something really interesting and compelling, right? That's what I just said. We conquer it. So change happens as a byproduct, not because we need to change, right? The change as such is useless. It's just a byproduct, and it's a process. Change is a process. And I want you to keep this in mind. By the way, we also have a gift for you on the end of the session. So stay here with us. Archana is with us here, and she will share some gift with you very soon. Not now, but very soon. So I usually say life itself can rekindle life. So, and thus the love for life sparks again. And I think life is really a gift, and we have to take it as a gift. We have to live it as a gift every day. And I think in that way, we can truly enjoy, and we can thrive and grow in whatever we need to do and whatever the universe wants us to do and fulfill. And so now for me, interesting is to know, where are you right now coming from? Where are you watching this from? Is it India? Is it Germany? Is it where? Alex, I know you are in Germany for sure. But hey guys, where are you? And in which city? Saloni, Pramod, where are you currently right now in that lockdown period? Where you needed to be? Okay, just comment here. India, Saloni, where in India? Arjuna, Gurgaon, right? Pramod, you're traveling a lot. I know that. So that's really unpredictable where. Saloni, where in India? India again. Avijit, thank you. Delhi. Bravo. Okay. Now, what other topics? I want you to comment here on that, coming to the end of it. Chandigarh, thank you. Deepa, Gurgaon, bravo. Okay. Now, what other topics you want me to cover in that Facebook Live events? Because, there's another surprise, by the way. Gift. I'm going live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Indian Standard Time, IST. Wednesday, 1 p.m. IST. And we have various topics. And we have a duration of usually 20-25 minutes. And I want to always make this interactive. That's why I'm asking you, and want to have a conversation with you. So just note down what you want or what your wishes are as a topic to cover. And if you're interested in one-on-one sessions, just reach out to us. And if you're interested in the book, Arjuna, I think you shared already the link. It's available on Amazon, the hard copy in India, soft copy all over the world, the Kindle version. And if you have some queries or questions, just drop also your comment here, regardless if you're watching this now live or you just see that as a video clip right after that live event. So if you have a question, just raise that here in the comment. I would love to hear from you. And Arjuna, you can share the gift we have here now. Is there anything else I forgot? I'm just checking also my notes. I don't want to miss anything. I hope you had a good seminar. I hope you learned a lot. Yes, Saloni, thank you. Okay. And you can also put as a comment, I would love to hear from you about that. What was the one thing you learned from that seminar today? And you can always do that also later on, but I want to listen, to read, what did you take out of that seminar, to also identify to do more of that. Okay. All right. So thank you, Arjuna. So just check out this link here. Arjuna just shared. That is our gift for you. This is also something where you get to know yourself in a better way. And if you're interested, I have one thing. I'm sorry. That is The wheel of life. A couple of people heard about this. This is from our corporate training, Change Me. So there's one. This is called wheel of life. Let me just get that straight. Where's the camera? All right. Now, what you can do is you put things here outside about what is important for you. So, for example, spirituality, or about social life, or about career, or about financials, or about your health, your physical or mental health, or both, and self-development. And there are a couple of more things. So what you can do is you just name them, you put them down here. Where's the camera? All right. You put them down here, and then you can just draw the lines, okay? I think you all heard about that wheel of life. So it's actually quite interesting. You mark afterwards where you are. So for example, I put here career just as an example. And I would say my career is terrific. It can't be any better. So it's a 10. Or I would say, oh my God, my career is very bad. There's nothing very bad. It's 0. So I mark this here. And I mark this with any of the other points which are important to me. It doesn't have to be necessary, like Saloni might be very, different topics, have different topics as Archana or as Pramod or anybody else, right? So this is very individually meant for you. And then you just put these points together and you see it's gonna to be a wheel or not. Well, it doesn't have to be a wheel, not necessary, but the idea is to have some sort of a wheel, to see clearly that is working out for you very well, or it is not really, and you want to work on that. That's also a very good tool. It's according to KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So I completely believe in that. So it's basic, and basic works often very good and excellently for oneself. So when it comes to all our clients, our one-on-one clients, it is a terrific tool just to identify where one stands and what you want to do about this. Now, this wheel of life can be also wheel of work. I used to have that as well. When we're talking about entrepreneurs, there are a lot of things which also have to happen apart from, maybe production or marketing or sales or market researches or inventions or a couple of things, right? So there's always a lot of stuff involved about employees, HR, or. And you can also see which points are you covering and where is it working really great, how is it working where, and then you just combine that. Maybe it becomes a wheel or maybe more zigzag, but you also see clearly, maybe that's an area. So for example, I did this many years ago for myself about that work. At this time, marketing was not good. And so I saw that really right in front of me. And I said, okay, that is one thing I really need and want to work upon. So you can use that wheel, and it's also with you eventually. So I see you very soon, hopefully live and in color. And I wish you a great time with that lockdown. Make it not a disadvantage for yourself, but make it an advantage. And stay content, healthy, and happy. Bye. Share this video if you found good value in that. Sorry. And also just pen down somebody who needs to see that video. Okay? All right. Bye. Take care.